That day, my opinion about management didn't change. What changed was something far more dangerous: my opinion about myself. We were sitting in the break room like we always do, complaining. Not casually, no. This was the kind of conversation that makes you feel completely right. Each of us had something to add, a story, a moment, another piece of evidence supporting the same idea. Something was clearly unfair. And with every sentence, the anger grew until the picture in our minds became simple. We were the victims. They were the problem. But the strange part is, we weren't actually trying to understand. We were only trying to prove one thing: that we were right. Then something small happened, but it changed everything. One of my coworkers didn't argue. He didn't defend them either. He just paused for a moment, as if he was weighing something heavy inside his mind. Then he said calmly, "What if you were in their position? Can you guarantee you wouldn't become like them?" In that moment, everything shifted. There was no more discussion, only silence. But it wasn't empty silence. It was confrontation. Because the question wasn't about them anymore. It was about us. About something we don't like to think about. That we might not be who we believe we are. That question stayed with me for a long time. Not because it was complicated, but because it was uncomfortably simple. It doesn't ask you to judge others. It asks you to look at yourself differently. That's when I started to understand an idea discussed by Carl Jung, the idea of the shadow. The shadow isn't evil, and it's not simply wrong the way we like to believe. The shadow is the part of ourselves we don't see, the thoughts we don't admit, the impulses we avoid, the possibilities we refuse to believe exist within us. But the harder truth is this: a person doesn't truly know themselves when life is easy, and they don't discover who they are when they're comfortable. You only begin to see yourself clearly when conditions change, when you're given power, when you're placed under pressure, when you're forced to make decisions that affect other people. Only then. You don't become someone new. You reveal a version of yourself that was always there, just never tested. That's why the idea, "I would never be like them," isn't always strength. Sometimes it's a comforting illusion. But this doesn't mean everyone will become a bad person, and it's not about justifying mistakes. It means something deeper. Human beings are not as fixed as we like to believe. There's always another version of us, waiting beneath the surface. A version that only appears under certain conditions. And from my perspective, this idea isn't meant to excuse failure or injustice. It's meant to break a very dangerous illusion. The illusion that we are completely different from others. Because the most dangerous thing about a person isn't what they do. It's what they believe they could never do. And in the end, maybe the real question isn't, why are they like this? But what could happen to me if everything around me changed? Because the one thing you can never fully predict isn't the world around you. It's you when the world changes you.